Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Monday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt on Twitter to follow me at BettingPros for BettingPros. You guys know the offer from BetMGM, the sign-up offer. Great day to do it. National championship. You got it. North Carolina and Kansas. More on that coming up here in this edition of the podcast. $10 bet for new users using the promo code JUICE150 at BetMGM gets $150 into your account automatically, win or lose. So I was just watching the end of the Philadelphia 76ers Cavaliers game. I mean, Embiid misses the first free throw and we lose on the hook. They win by 4. We bet 4.5. Somebody told me that was too high. Someone was like, hey, that number is going to come down. It closed at 4. So I think the majority of people probably pushed. If you bet that thing late, I bet it overnight at 4.5. That stinks. So we get the Nuggets right. LeBron sat out. We laid 3. They won by double digits. So we got that right. And then Troy Merritt comes in top 40. He came in top 5. So yeah, pretty good for him. Good performance. And if you bet that, I think he was top 10 was plus, or top 20 was plus 300. I think top 10 was like plus 500. So depending on what you bet on it, but we get that correct for Troy Merritt. So he goes in the top 40, and that's good at plus 125. So 2-in-1 day and a winning day for us here on the podcast. So a little bit of a nice bounce back after a really rough Saturday. All right. So it's the national championship game. I'm taping this at 5:30 here on the West Coast because I am headed to another installment of Bet Bash. If you don't know what Bet Bash is, on my Twitter account, you can see some pictures and whatnot. It essentially is a sports gambling convention that's here in Las Vegas. A lot of quote-unquote sharps are out and about here in Vegas. A lot of talk about sports books and being limited, and it's just been a fun couple of days here in Vegas. So that will end today on Monday, which happens to be my birthday. So today is my 45th birthday. So I'm going to go off tonight and have a little bit of a celebratory thing with a bunch of people at Bet Bash. So we're going to go have some fun, go to Circa and go to the Legacy Club, which is upstairs, I think on the 65th floor of Circa. So we're going to go up there and have some fun for my birthday because it's a Monday. So I get to go out a little bit on my birthday to have a little fun tonight with some sports gambling people. So I'm taping this thing a little early than normal, getting it out a little earlier than normal because most likely I'm not going to be home till late tonight. Might be dragging a bit on the Monday shows, but yeah, it's, you only turn 45 once, I guess, as they say. So let's get into it here today. Kansas and North Carolina, but first and foremost, Omaha Steaks. Today is the wrap of our campaign with Omaha Steaks. The spring-wide or site-wide spring sale is going on still right now. You're going to get 50% off the entire site. It's their semi-annual sale, 50% off everything. OmahaSteaks.com, juice in the search bar. Check it out. You have the Omaha Sampler, which is available at 50% off the listed price. And if you buy that, order that, they will give you 12 free Omaha Steak burgers. It's very simple, 100% satisfaction guarantee. OmahaSteaks.com, juice in the search bar. OmahaSteaks.com, juice in the search bar, 50% off site-wide. The semi-annual sale today, last day of our campaign to take advantage of it. Juice in the search bar, omahasteaks.com. All right, so I have not been good here in the Final Four. Rough Saturday. Hopefully we can bounce back and end on a pretty high note. Let me see real quick here if we've got my college basketball record. It has not been great. I have not been great in college basketball this year. I've had much better seasons. So I am 59-61. Wow, that's interesting. Down 5 units in college basketball. So we got hit pretty hard. That put a pretty good dent in the entire year. So, I mean, thankfully the NFL and college football both went really, really well for us. But college basketball has been hurt. Yeah, not a good year. So if I go and hit both these bets today, I'll wound up 61-61 for the college basketball season. That's not great, but it's one of my worst college basketball years, to be quite honest. One of my best college football years, but not one of my best college basketball years. Let me see if we can combine that with the end of the year. However, that's just in 2022. We combine that. So I guess we're down. We're up a little bit. Yeah, I guess we're still down, but November, December, we did better with November and December. So we headed up, so basically it's about down 2 units for the entire season so far. So got one more unit in play. So maybe we'll be down 1 unit for the entire year if we don't get these two. I guess we'll be down more if we wind up losing these 2 bets. But let's get into it. Okay. Kansas, North Carolina. I said this on Saturday night on Twitter. Just got to hold my nose and take the points. And that's what I'm doing here, okay? Carolina is 5-0 against the spread in the NCAA tournament, and they also are 5-0 over the last 5 games in which they were a dog. I mean, this team has cashed moneyline bets against Baylor, UCLA, and now Duke, where they were pretty big favorites, okay? Kansas is going to be the public side. Kansas was the public side against Villanova. People are going to say, Matt, you hate KU. No, I picked Kansas to beat Nova. I like Nova to cover. It's kind of the same thing here. I think these teams are really evenly matched. And if I'm going to talk about, taking 4.5 points, I'm going to take the points here at 4.5 points. Now, KenPom has this as a 6-point win for North Carolina. And obviously, Baycott's injury is a big situation with the ankle roll that he had against Duke, but I think he's going to be fine. And he is a big, big matchup problem for Kansas. Kansas has got bigs, but here's the thing with Kansas. Does anybody think KU is going to shoot the way they shot? I mean, Ajabaji was 4 of 14 going into the NCAA, going into the Final Four, right? Kid couldn't miss. The entire team couldn't miss. They shot 57% and 52 from 3. Okay? That is not what this team normally does. Okabaji shoots 39% from the field, from 3 this season, and he was on fire. Okay? He's a good player. I'm not debating he's a really good player. Just don't think Kansas is going to shoot the same way that they shot here. And I don't know, man. Something about this North Carolina team, something about the way these guys are playing, something about the way that they have turned things around. They were the hottest team entering the tournament, really, and they've played like it. I just think there's value here at plus 4.5. I'm going to go ahead. I'm taking the points at plus 4.5. You can fade this if you want. Again, I was horrible on Saturday. You can fade it if you want. I'm jumping in here. Plus 4.5, half a unit. North Carolina, half a unit at plus 4.5. I think it's a real good shot. I would sprinkle money line, okay? When you take dog, our rule is always take 10%, right, of the bet and put it on the money line. When you take a dog, I would recommend doing that. So if you're playing $100 on a half unit, whatever your unit is, but take $10 and put it down on North Carolina on the money line here. I think there's a real good chance they win the game, but we have not had a buzzer beater yet. Something tells me that we're going to this could be a buzzer beater national championship. I really think this could be make or miss. This could come down to one shot, national championship on the line for Kansas and North Carolina. I'm riding with the Tar Heels. North Carolina plus 4.5 is the official play. Don't mind a money line play either, but taking the Tar Heels to keep it going. They knocked out Baylor as a 1 seed. They knocked out the defending champs in UCLA. They knocked out their arch rival in Duke. And now I think they take out another number 1 seed. I think it's worth the sprinkle for UNC on the money line. But officially, we're taking the 4.5 points. North Carolina plus 4.5. Other half unit. What are we doing with it? Let's go to the total of 153. Now, you can get this at 152, okay? So shop around and try to find this at 152 for North Carolina and Kansas. But right now, you've got 22-16 North Carolina to the over. Kansas 20-17-2 to the over. On the road, North Carolina is 14-7 to the over. 12-9-1 for Kansas on the road this year. 15-8 against the ACC to the over, and 10-11 in the Big 12 to the over. A little under 500 there, but both these teams 3-2 and 2-3 over the last 5. In the tournament against Duke, the game went over by 4.5 points at 153.5. It went under against St. Peter's. It went under against UCLA, but it went over against Baylor at 149. It went over by 30 points, and it went over at 153.5 against Marquette at 4.5 points. I think, again, this is going to be a high-scoring game. Nova went over, 81 points scored by Kansas. KU has scored 81, 76, 66, 79, and 83 points so far here in this tournament. I think they're going to score 75 points, okay? They score 75 points. I feel pretty good about Carolina's chances of getting a 75 points as well or higher. 81, 69, 73, 93, 95 for North Carolina. They want to run. So does Kansas. They're both going to shoot a lot of threes. They both shot very well in this building. I think they'll shoot well again. I don't think Kansas is as hot as they were. I don't think they score into the lower 80s, but they could. And if KU scores to the 80s, if it's like an 80-76 type of final, we're going over. I think this is a correlated parlay, to be quite honest, or correlated game. Going with North Carolina in the over. I mean, either side. Actually, no, I don't think it's correlated. Let me correct myself. Not correlated. It's over. Either or. KU or North Carolina wins this game. I think the over hits for either one. So we're going to come back and we're going to take the over 152 here for a half a unit. All right. North Carolina plus 4.5, over 152 for the national championship game. And also, this is a great live betting opportunity, okay? One team gets off. If Kansas gets off to a big start, or if North Carolina gets off to a big start, come back in here. You get plus points on Kansas at any point during the game. I think you've got to jump on it and try to middle this. So you can get 4.5 and maybe like KU plus 2. Try to middle it, either or. I think that would be smart. I think if the game gets off to a really fast start, you're already over 152. So maybe you have a chance to come back and take the under of like 160, 165 if it gets off to a stupid fast start, which is possible given the way that Kansas has played the last 3 halves. They've played really well. So in-game betting is your friend here tonight for the national championship. I would highly recommend you doing that as well as hopping on these pre-game bets here for North Carolina plus 4.5 in the over 152. My name is Matt Perrault. I'm going to have some fun. It's my 45th birthday, so let's have a good day, okay? Let's have a national championship day. Let's have a good day. How about a 2-0 mark, right? Let's take the 2-0 mark for a little celebratory Monday for us here on April the 4th. I was born 4477. Those are my lucky numbers, 2, 4, 7, 14. Let's go, Carolina. Let's play it tough. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by BetMGM.